and grow up, we're bound to stay the same. And I'll be there, still be there at the end, just like when you came knocking lonely at my door, just like when you came knocking lonely at my door. And you'll slow down till you catch up with me, and I'll return to you, just like when you came knocking lonely at my door. Just like when you came knocking lonely at my door. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. You came back round, just like when you came knocking lonely at my door. Just like when you came knocking lonely at my door. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. Yeah, you take my heart and break it too. Yeah, you take my heart and you break it too. Yeah, you took my heart and broke it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio. And this is Sunday, so you know what that means. We are going to introduce you to one of the musical guests, and they are the power behind the songs. And it's always a special treat because, you can listen to a song all you want, but how about a little bit of a view of the people that are working so hard to get that music out to you? And that's what we do every single Sunday. And joining me, of course, is Kerry Hall, our
Hi,
musical
everybody.
guest host. And Kerry, of course, I would love for you to introduce us to the gentleman that we see right here.
I would be delighted. Everybody, this is Alx Green. He's
How's it
singer,
going?
Hi,
great
Alex.
singer, songwriter, and I'm just going to do this quote, Alex, because I love this.
Okay.
He incorporates a vocal range that goes delicate to explosive, upbeat finger picking, and turns both expectations and guitar onto its back as he taps away to challenging percussive melodies. I love that. Yeah, so that's a rather unique talent. We're going to get into your kind of your life story, but I wanted to ask you about the finger tapping. How did that start, and how does that blend in with your beautiful music?
I want to know who wrote that quote. um, yes. So the finger tapping kind of came about. I'm, as well as being a guitarist, I have been since a very young age. I'm also a drummer, and growing up, like being in bands, I wanted to try and. I ended up relying on a lot of band members, and they were letting me down. And when it came to doing my own solo stuff, I thought, how can I kind of incorporate a more band sound, but with my own music without any additional members? And it was kind of like I'd seen a few people do it before. It's not very commonly known, but I saw a couple of people do it live, and I really liked the effect of it. And with being a drummer already, I thought I could just try and learn and teach myself. So that's kind of how it came about.
Well, it's beautiful. You have very haunting music. Let's go back to when you were a child. You started out musically when you were 3, and you come from a very, I guess, a very musical family, or a family that was very supportive of you.
So my dad's a musician. He was in bands when I was growing up. He's just a guitarist, and he sings as well. But so he was the one who kind of introduced me to playing the guitar. My mum's doesn't play any music, but she's a huge music fan. So yeah, from a very young age, I had a lot of people in my life, putting music in front of me, which is great.
Now, you started at 3, and then you had your own band by the time you were 11. I wanted to get the deals about that.
If you can call it a band. Anyway. Yeah, so I'd started playing guitar at a very young age, like you say, and I kind of was always flicking in and out of it. And then it got to like my first year of, probably first year of what high school is over here. And I met a couple of other musicians, friends who also could play instruments, and we just decided to make a little band. At the time, we were all obsessed with Green Day, so it was just kind of the natural thing to go and, copy what they were doing, and it was very it was fun. From what I remember, it was very innocent, and we just played covers, and I was terrified all the time. But it was good.
Yeah, but
that would be. Yeah.
I was going to say it's better to do that when you're young and get in front of people and get over that, than to have to face that when you right now in your life. So that was a great experience for you.
Definitely. Yeah. It's definitely paved the way for now.
So what was the name of your band? I was just curious.
The name of the band, I think the first one was called Burnout.
Okay.
I don't even know why. It wasn't my choice.
Right. So go ahead. Yeah,
there's been quite a few that I've been in. I think I was in something like 7 different bands through high school, and I all different genres. I went from pop punk to heavy music to I pretty much covered most genres with most of those bands until I kind of landed on doing my solo stuff. And I didn't really choose to write what genre. It just kind of naturally, I happened to write in this style that I now continue. So I never actually chose this genre, which was interesting because obviously through the bands I kind of chose what I was playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your true style then. This is,
I think so, yeah. I mean, this is what naturally falls out of me, I guess.
Exactly. And that's the best music to play because your heart's in it,
Yeah, definitely. No, it really is.
And your music is so haunting. I want to go back a ways though, and let's talk a little bit about what was your first EP like, and talk about some of the music that you created on that. And then we'll get to your new EP.
Yeah. So my first one was just a home recording, and it never was actually intended to become anything. So I just did my music in my own time. Like whenever I got a minute when I wasn't working or if I was out with my friends, and I'd just write little bits here and there. And I never sang in front of anyone up until relatively recently, about 4 or 5 years ago. I never sang in any of the bands. I was always just a guitar player. And I sang in my own time. I mean, who doesn't sing in the shower, right? But
right.
But yeah, I was never intended to be the singer, and then I started playing in my own time, and one of my friends at the time knew I did this, and she signed me up for like an open mic night, so where anyone can play.
Mm-hmm.
And I was terrified, but I agreed. And after that, it didn't go as badly as I thought it was going to go, so it kind of made sense for me to think, okay, maybe I should do something with these songs that I've written. So then I just made a home recording and then just put it online for anybody to listen, not thinking anything much to come from it. But then it kind of snowballed, and a lot of people became interested in it and was interested in what I was creating. And I kind of, it was a shock, but it was really nice. And it's one of the reasons I've not stopped doing it, because that ball's still rolling, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I want to talk about your new EP, My Way Home.
Sure.
Let's talk about the genesis of that, and there are some great songs on there.
Thank you.
How did that come? And what a great title, My Way Home. Talk about that a little bit.
So at the tail end of 2015, I left a full-time career I was a fashion photographer.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good job, but it was super stressful, and I always wanted to do my music. I was always doing it on the side, and it got to the end of that year, and through various means, I decided to just give music a go. So I bought this van that I'm in now, and I built a bed in the back of it, and I just set out into Europe. And I didn't really have much of a plan, but I drove around Europe for nearly 4 months, and I was just playing shows wherever. I was busking on the street. I was playing house concerts, absolutely everything I could do. I just wanted to get my music out there and give it my undivided attention. And during that time, I ended up writing a lot because, I mean, I was constantly seeing new places, and I was really inspired while I was out there. And it was on the way back to England, so my way home,
Yeah.
that I decided I wanted to, I was like, I think I really want to document this time in my life in the form of a release. So I chose my 4 favorite songs /5, because there's an extra one on the CD, that I felt really summed up my time at where I was at that point. And when I got back home to England, I organized getting some money together and getting into the studio, and that's where the EP came from, I guess.
Right. Well, it's great. Let's. We want to talk some more about the songs, but
Yeah,
should we
but
take
also,
a break?
I want to say one thing you did that was smart, Alex, is while you were touring all these different areas, which I'm sure was very difficult for you many times, you were creating a fan base.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that was my solid aim. I didn't go out into Europe with any preconceptions about what was going to happen or just anything. I was completely like winging it. But the one thing I did want to do, and was like my solid agenda, which was just sharing my music with people. And what better way to do that than drive to their hometown and, put it in front of them, whether it be at a gig or on the street or just talking to people. And people were really welcoming, and it was really nice. And despite me not speaking most of the languages, they were very good with me.
But
So,
music is the universal language, right?
Exactly.
yeah. So you toured like, what was it, 6 countries, 22 cities while you were doing that? I mean,
Yeah.
in the back of your van in a plywood box, basically, how hard was that?
It was hard at times. I mean, it started off easier because it was the height of summer, so it was warm, and then it progressively got colder and colder, and sleeping in this thing got more and more uncomfortable. And it was ultimately the reason why I had to come back, because it got to like November, and I wasn't sleeping. I was just freezing every night.
Yeah.
So I do a couple nights in the van, and then I do a night in a hostel just to feel a bit human again.
Right.
It was hard work, but then at the same time, I was just so constantly inspired, and it kind of got rid of any sort of apprehension about doing it, and it got rid of any sort of like, oh, maybe I should go home now because I'm not getting a good night's sleep. It just, all the pros outweighed the cons, so I couldn't just leave it just out of comfortable likeness.
Right.
So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to keep going as long as I can go until I physically have to leave, which is what I ended up having to do. But after 4 months, I think 4 months was a decent amount of time.
Yeah. Was there any favorite city or town that you really liked playing at?
Oh, there's so many. I really liked Berlin in Germany. I spent, I think, the longest amount of time out of all the cities I went to there, because the music scene was so good. And I met so many wonderful people from all over the globe, and it seems like a really creative hub of Europe, Berlin. Lots of people kind of gathered there from all over, and I met loads of lifelong friends, I hope, from there.
Yeah.
So probably Berlin.
Yeah,
Probably
you're making good connections, absolutely. And also you're trying out your music, different types of music, to see the response to it. What better way to do
Yeah.
that, you know? But speaking of music, I think it's
Yes.
time that we listen to a little bit more of Alx Green's sounds. So, folks, here you go, and we'll be back to chat with Alx Green in just a moment.
Wait a while with me, and I'll try to explain all the things I'm seeing. And no, you're not to blame. Feeling something better as I walk into the light. I'm wanting something closer, but not too far away from sight. Of all these sinking feelings, I'll break out. And of all these deeper meanings, I'll work out. 'Cause I'm made for something better, as I'm made for my way home. And I'll aim for something real before all I've got is gone. And I'm made for something better, I can feel it in my bones. So I'll wait for something real, holding on and on and on. Pack your things, don't worry, to remember all your stuff. 'Cause in this life you'll find these things will only fade and rust. And I'll keep sailing on and on till the dawn it turns to dust. And I'll wait a while and see it as to love that turns from lust. Of all these sinking feelings, I'll break out. And of all these deeper meanings, I'll work out. 'Cause I'm made for something better, as I'm made for my way home. And I'll aim for something real before all I've got is gone. And I'm made for something better, I can feel it in my bones. So I'll wait for something real, holding on and on and on. Oh, I'm holding on. Cause I'm made for something better, as I make for my way home. And I'll aim for got is gone, and I'm made for something better. I can feel it in my bones, so I wait for something real, holding on and on and on. See, I've walked alone next to you for so long and tried everything that's come to mind, and I hope you can see that I'm still there, catching light and holding from the dark all the things that lit our spark. And how long did you feel that this way could be real? And how long did you take cover? As I take off and drive out through the night, I see all the times when you were right, and I'll go alone to the place I call home, where I can stay and hide away and keep my soul. And how long did you feel that this way could be real? And how long did you take cover? And how long did you gamble?
Welcome back, everybody. We are talking to Alx Green, singer, songwriter, world traveler. I'm still amazed, Alx, that you got in your van with the wood backing and did 6 countries and 22 cities. That must have been an amazing thing. How was your stamina during that?
It was tested, I think. It was brilliant though. I loved it. I really did love it. I think I mean, it was just looking back at it, it's hilarious because it just seems so crazy and such a strange thing to do. But I would recommend it to anybody that's kind of feels like they're in a rut. Just go out and see places and meet people. It was so worth it just on a kind of a personal level, let alone music. I mean, it was hugely beneficial for my music, but it also was for me as a person because I got to meet loads of new people, see gorgeous new places that I never would have seen. I mean, that was the nice thing about driving is I got to see all the little places between the big cities. So I'd stop off in like some tiny town in the middle of, I don't know, the Czech Republic that nobody's ever heard of or probably will never hear of. And I'd stop off and have a coffee with the locals and they wouldn't understand a thing I was saying, but I'd play a song and then, like you say, music's universal language. So they were all really welcoming. So,
That's
but
great.
in terms of stamina, I mean, it did get very hard sleeping in the car constantly in the van. Just because you never get too much sleep because I was parking up on the side of like, you know, motorways and the autobahn, and I was sleeping next to a busy roads. There was only a few times that I parked up in seriously quiet places, and it was normally a beach or something. So you'd wake up melting because the sun coming through the window.
You didn't need an alarm clock now.
No. The sun was definitely my alarm clock.
Right. So you came out with a new CD. We're going to talk about My Way Home. Why don't you show our audience your wonderful new EP, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Here it is.
And it's called My Way. Ooh, nice.
Beautiful
Very
scenery.
nice.
Yeah, it is. It's
Great.
pretty.
Great.
Yeah. So the photos on here, I mentioned before I was a photographer. I did take a camera with me whilst I went away. Although I didn't take too many photos, this was one of them. That's in Switzerland. I couldn't remember the place name. I'm still trying to remember now. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you on the photo where I took it because the camera's not that fancy. But yeah, that I had no idea that was going to be the cover. It was actually only when I got back from my travels and when I decided to do my music, and I actually had recorded all the songs, and I went, I need a cover. What the hell am I going to do? So I was looking through frantically out of the photos that I took, and that one just stuck out. And yeah, I like it. I think it's nice.
Now, you said you put your five favorite songs. Why don't you name off the songs off the back of your EP for everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe
It's
you can talk just briefly.
Check.
Yeah, talk just briefly about each song if you can.
Yeah, so Something Better, which is the first track. That's probably going to be backwards because this is video. But Something Better was the first single that I've released from the EP. And I think it was that's the one song for me that kind of summed up the entire EP, my entire mentality at the time of writing it. And so the chorus in it is saying I'm made for something better. And what that kind of means is I was driving back to the UK and thinking, am I going to have to go back into this job that I used to do and not be happy? And then I was kind of in that same head conversation that I had with myself. I was like, no, I don't think why should I? You know, like I've had such a great time doing this and it's been so beneficial for me in so many reasons. I was like, I think this is the first time, it's been definitely the first time in my life that I actually felt this is like the thing that I need to be doing right now. And I felt so strongly about it. That's actually where all these songs came out of. Before that, I actually suffered quite a bit of writer's block, and it was just I was writing so much while I was away, and I was like, "There's got to be a reason why I'm writing so much." So for me, that song just kind of sums up where I was at, and it's also just even not applying to myself. It's just like a message to anybody. Just like if you want to do something, do it. You know, like go for it. The only person stopping you ultimately is yourself, and I think that's why I wanted it to be the very first song on the EP, and that's why I released it as the first single, just because I felt like it encapsulates the entire EP and how I was at the time. Right, now
Hollow. Is Hollow on there?
Hollow isn't on there. It's actually a very old song of mine.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be released at some point this year.
Oh, good.
It's something I've decided because it keeps getting asked for, and I still play it now. And even though I wrote it, I think 4 years ago, it's still in my set list. So that must mean that it's a keeper, right? So I'm going to be recording that this year. on the rest of the EP, the second song, My Door, is actually the only song on the EP I didn't write while I was away. I wrote that prior to leaving. It was, I think, a year or two before I left. It was really nice for me being able to play with the full band on this record, because normally I'm just on my own when I'm playing live, and I always thought that song would work really well with a full band, so that's why that one's on there.
Okay.
The next one, Downhill From Here, is actually going to be, I haven't actually told anybody this yet, so this is an exclusive. This is going to be my next single from the EP, which I'm going to be releasing a music video for next month, which should be cool. That one, I like leaving that one open to interpretation. I've got my reasons behind it, but I've heard so many different ones that I like leaving it that way, and I really like hearing what people think, what it's about, or what they can apply it to. The most interesting thing being, most people think Downhill From Here is a negative. I actually mean it in the most positive way, as in, it's easy from here. That's like a very common thing. People are like, oh, why is all your songs doom and gloom? You know, like Downhill From Here. I was like, oh, downhill's easy. Like uphill from here would be way worse. So
Right.
that always makes me laugh. So I leave that one to open to anybody's interpretation, I guess.
I love it. I love that song.
And write Alex and let him know what it means to you.
That'd be cool. Yeah, let me know. I'd love to hear. And then the last official song on the EP is called Take Cover. I during my travels, I was actually in a relationship, and with me being away for 4 months, you know, that put a lot of strain on that relationship, and through various different reasons, it ended up coming to an end whilst I was pretty much away. But that's where that song was kind of born from, I guess. It's really difficult because obviously, you know, I sacrificed quite a lot to pursue my music. You know, I left what was a very, very comfortable life that I had here.
Yeah.
And for all sorts of reasons, like financially, emotionally, and I'm very fortunate. And leaving not only broke things like my ties with my old job and all sorts of things, but it also had a lot of strain on my relationship at the time. And that song was probably the quickest song I've ever written. It was like an instant kind of thing that just came out of me at a very, very rough time. I'm a lot happier than it is now.
Yeah.
Like lots of people hear that and they're like, "Oh, are you okay, man?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm great." Like I wasn't, but I'm fine now.
Right. And,
Well,
and I think a lot of people can relate to that, because I think everybody's been in a situation that is similar. I mean, not possibly leaving, but the breaking up
Yeah.
of a relationship that you really
Yeah.
care about the person, but it's just not going to work. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're still friends now. You know,
Yeah.
there's no. It wasn't, although it was a very upsetting time. There was no like, I hate you, you hate me, and there was none of that. It was very much like, this isn't working, and I think that's even harder because when somebody's done something really wrong, it's very easy to try and go, okay, well, that was the reason
Yes.
that happened. When there wasn't really a necessary obvious reason, it makes it all the harder.
It does.
So
And
I'm sure people can relate to that.
I like that you
Yes.
brought up the fact that you sacrifice, because I don't know that most people realize how much artists do sacrifice to bring about
Yeah.
the music. Like you said,
Definitely.
a lot of them have to give up jobs that are paying excellently because it limits them, you know, and absolutely relationships. So I hope that people appreciate your music when they hear it and realize the love that's gone into it.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yes,
crossed.
yes.
And then there's actually a
So,
bonus.
speaking of music, Alex, where can we find and purchase your music, and what's your website?
So I'll start with the website first because it's easy. It's just alxgreen.com. So alxgreen.com. I spell my name without an E because I'm strange and I'm easy to find. So that's like that will link you to everything. But my music's on Apple Music, like on iTunes. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. What else is it on? It's pretty much on most like large platforms online. was trying to think of the other bigger ones. There's it's on Google Play, and one called Deezer as well.
Right.
But it's pretty much anywhere that most people listen to music or purchase music. The idea is that it is on them. It should be. The publisher told me it would be. So, I mean, I hope it is. It should be anyway. So, if not, then go to my website, and that will point you in all the right directions.
Exactly.
Great.
And you have also been played on quite a few music shows, including some top music charts. And I know you made it to number one on one of them. And that's remarkable, because there are so many artists that try for that spot.
It's crazy. Yeah, that was the World Music Stage, and I got a lovely notification on my phone saying, with a little photo of like the top 10, and I was right at the top, which was lovely. So I had no idea when I uploaded my music and got in touch with those guys that would happen. It's really it's very humbling to know that the system works. Like, despite what people say about the music industry and the art industry being stupidly difficult, it is. I'd be lying if I said it was easy, but then it's not impossible. That's one thing to remember as another artist talking to anyone else out there doing it. It's not impossible.
And Alex, while we're on that topic, I want to point out to people that an artist can be in the top music chart more than one time. And how that happens is you go to World Music Stage, in this instance, www.worldmusicstage.com, and you can download his music there. You can go ahead and comment on his page, share it with other people, and those who get the most interest in any given week shows that they're the music that people like and are choosing. So please do that. If you love what you've heard tonight and are going to hear, support Alex and do that one little thing for him, okay? And maybe we'll get an interview with him on that, because they do interviews also now.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be happy to do it. And I love getting feedback as well. So if anyone does like my music, or if they've got any comments, questions, just let me know. I will personally reply. Like, I will do that. So just let me know.
So, Alex, for our viewers and for your fans, are you going to be playing any place special? What can we look forward to in the next few months for you?
So I've got I'm playing at a lot of festivals this year. Quite a few that I can't actually announce yet, unfortunately. But there's a lot around the UK. I'm going to be playing. Unfortunately, obviously, you guys are across the pond. I haven't got any plans right now to come over, but I can say that I definitely will be at some point. Whether it be the end of the year or maybe the beginning of next year, I am definitely going to be coming over. So
well, let us know.
I'm excited.
I'll get to like a state or a town near one of you guys. Like, that'd be great. I'd love to come over.
Absolutely.
Oh, we would love to have you. We would love to have you. So you talked a little bit about your sort of advice for indie artists. What would you really want your people in your position to know? What advice would you give them?
Don't give up at the first hurdle. It's really easy to, because like I say, there's a lot. Not only is there a lot of talented people out there, which can be a deterrent, like they can scare you off. So many of my friends, for example, are very, very talented musicians, and I watch them play and I'm like, why are you so good? But then don't let that get you down. There's always going to be great people, but there's never going to be another you. So like that's something to remember. And then other than that, just get out and play. I mean, do you have open mic nights over there?
Yes. Yeah.
So I can't sing praise highly enough for open mic nights. That they are what put me where I am now. So at my very beginnings, after deciding to not play in bands anymore, I started going to open mic nights, and you can just try out new music there. I still to this day play the odd open mic night to try out a new song and see how it goes down. And there's just no pressure. People aren't there to see you and they've paid their money to see you. People just go to listen to some original music. And, it's a great way to like get into getting used to being on stage and, getting used to your own sound. Like, I played so many genres at open mic nights before I actually decided, like, okay, I think this is the one I'm not trying to do. Like I was trying to replicate lots of my favorite artists for a long time, and then through open mic nights and through feedback from people, they always seem to gravitate towards the style that I play now, and that's very conveniently the one that naturally comes out of me.
Yeah, and that's what, the pros will tell you that, Alex, that um, that brings, when you're yourself and not trying to be anybody else, that brings the emotions and the stories to each song.
Definitely.
And people
Yeah,
can
yeah.
tell. They can tell. Yeah.
Right. Alx, it has been so wonderful talking to you. We realize you're free. I don't know how cold it is in England. It's freezing here in Oregon.
It's very cold.
Sitting in your wonderful van, which you're sitting in your wonderful van joining us. We just and your coat. We want to appreciate so much that you came and spoke to us. Can we call you back maybe in a year and see where you are?
I'd love you to, and thank you so much for letting this happen and having me on. It's great to speak to you guys.
Same to you, Alex, and you take care.
Right, just real briefly, Alex, again, where can we find your music?
So if you are on any social networking thing, if you just look for Alx Green, you will find me. I'm on, or just Google that. Just make sure there's no E in Alex, and I hopefully am still the only one who does it like that. So just Alx Green.
All right. Sounds good, Alex. You take care.
Take care.
Too.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
Oh, I tell you. Gosh, Punky liked Alex.
I know. She
just
came right up on your lap.
Yeah, she just kept coming back and forth. So that's wonderful. Well, she loves music anyway. Yes. And Kerry, I think Alex said so many positive things, yes. And he's so right. And I love the fact that he just one day said, I'm going to go for this. I love it. It's what I want to do, and I'm going to go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just picture him, and of course my mind is romantic, picturing him in this cold van with his copies of his EPs, sleeping in this wood box, going from country to country. Could I do that? No way. No way. Not even at that young age. No way.
Oh, you could if you were passionate enough about it, though.
Yes.
You really
got
could.
A point.
Yeah. So, folks, anyway, Kerry and I are going to say goodbye to you right now because we have some more of Alex's music to share with you. And please, if you like the show, tell other people about it. We will have this podcast up on YouTube. It's under our musical guest interview playlist, It Matters Radio. And tell them about the show because we are here for the artists, not for ourselves. We're here to present them to you. Right, Kerry?
Right on, right on. And, folks, join us 7 days a week. During the week, it's 7 p.m. Eastern. Monica is in a little teeny corner about yay big, but she talks about some great music. I'm just teasing you, Monica. So join us, and especially Sundays, 3 p.m.
Yeah, and I want to say something about that, Kerry. Why I do that, I see so many people get on the air and they want their face plastered all over the place. But you know what? Right. The show is not about me. What it is about the music. So I'm just over there in the corner letting you know a little bit about the talent that we have on. And Punky joins me all the time also.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, folks, here you go. Let's listen to some more music by Alx Green. Take care. Bye-bye.
It shines through your window in the early hours where you don't know, but I'm just the same. You hide away and you cover up from all the things that you overlook, but I'm just the same. And I don't even know the hell I'm waiting for. We're losing life. downhill from here. It's downhill from here. Pick up stories, you pick up books, work so hard for that old look, but I'm not the same. You pick up lies and you cover scars, a masquerade lit behind bars. Oh, I can't say the same, and I don't even know the hell I'm waiting for. We're losing light, but it won't be long. At least it's downhill from here. It's downhill from here. And I don't even know what the hell I'm waiting for. We're losing light, but it won't be long. It can't be